Did you try to kill me?
Victor, what are you gonna do? Finish the job? What the fuck? Man, you made a mistake.
If I take his ass out, then all our problems go away. I vow to show up for those that need help. You're supposed to have my back.
You are under arrest for the murder of Quentin Dickinson.
Is everything okay?
No,
What do you want?
I don't want people to hate me.
You can't buy me out to ease your conscience.
Calling him a traitor.
Don't bite the hand that freed you.
You kept quiet, right?
Scared for you.
What if I told you Reg's time on the Chi is finally running out, and it's Victor, his own brother, who pulls the trigger? The trailer for episode 7 just changed everything. And I mean everything. What started as a street war might now become a personal bloodbath, because Victor's done watching people he loves get hurt. And after what happened to Jamal, there's no turning back. The lines have been crossed, and now it's family against family. And someone's going to die. Let's talk about how we got here, because this war didn't just start overnight. In episode 6, Alicia took matters into her own hands and pulled the trigger that sent Jamal to the hospital. It wasn't even planned. She acted on impulse, thinking she could take out Reg from a distance. But she missed, and that one reckless shot shattered everything. Jamal was just bringing food, completely innocent. Now he's fighting for his life in a hospital bed. And what did Alicia do? She ran. No hesitation, no regret, just vanished into the night. That kind of action doesn't go unnoticed. And Victor, he's watching all of it, and he's done sitting back. This is personal now. But the madness didn't stop there. In the new trailer for episode 7, we see Victor struggling with a choice he never wanted to face. After trying so hard to leave the streets behind, after working to rebuild his image, gain the community's trust, and protect the people he cares about, Victor is now being pulled right back into the violence he tried to escape. Because Reg's own brother has gone completely off the rails. Reg isn't just dealing drugs anymore. He's picking fights, pulling people into chaos, and dragging Jake straight into hell with him. When Reg stole Jake's girlfriend and nearly got him killed in that fight, it wasn't just disrespect, it was betrayal. And Victor saw all of it go down. Now Jake is caught between two worlds, his loyalty to Victor, who's trying to lead him right, and his pull toward Reg, who keeps dragging him into darkness. And then came the shot that changed it. All Jamal bleeding out because Alicia wanted revenge. That's when Victor's face changed. That's when he knew this was it. This wasn't just about neighborhood drama anymore. This was about survival. Because if Reg keeps pushing and Alicia keeps firing wild bullets into the air, it won't just be Jamal next time. It could be Jake, or Kesha, or someone even closer. The trailer hints at Reg getting into it with both Nuck and Alicia. People who are dangerous enough on their own, but Reg, he's going all in. And now that he's feeling the heat, he's not being careful, he's being reckless. And a reckless Reg is a deadly Reg. The city's about to explode. And Victor sees it coming. In one powerful moment from the trailer, we catch a glimpse of Victor quiet, focused, like he's made a decision he can't take back. And if you connect the dots, it's clear. Victor's not just going to confront Reg. He might actually take him out. And here's the real twist. It's not even just about justice anymore. It's about protection. Victor doesn't want to kill Reg, but after everything that's happened, Jamal in the hospital, Jake in danger, Tiff caught between chaos, and the streets burning again, he may not have a choice. Because Reg isn't slowing down. He's going harder, louder, meaner, and everyone's in his crosshairs. Victor knows the truth. If Reg keeps going, the body count's only going to rise. So what happens now? The war has already begun. The first shot hit Jamal. The second could hit someone even closer. But what nobody saw coming was that the man to end it all might not be the police or Nuck or Alicia. It might be Victor, the brother who tried to walk away. The brother who tried to save everyone. The brother who now has to decide, kill Reg or lose everything. Victor has always walked a tightrope between two worlds, one foot in politics, the other still shadowed by the streets. But now, that rope is snapping. And the man who once wore a suit to speak at community rallies may soon be holding a gun. Let's be real, he's not the same Victor we saw at the start of the season. The trailer for episode 7 shows us a version of Victor that's cold, calculating, and done playing nice. And that transformation didn't come out of nowhere. It came from being pushed too far, watching the people he loves get dragged into hell over and over again, and realizing that words don't work anymore. Not with people like Reg, not when lives are on the line. Remember, Victor's not just angry about Jamal. He's been watching the storm build for a long time. Back in earlier episodes, he tried to talk sense into Reg, tried to get him to calm down, to stop pulling Jake and others into danger. But Reg wouldn't listen. He was too deep in the game, too hungry for power, and Victor, he saw what that hunger would lead to: blood, betrayal, and bodies. And now that Reg has crossed every line possible, Victor's patience is gone. In the trailer, we see him pacing, quiet, but with that kind of stillness that only comes before an explosion. His silence says more than words ever could. Reg has to go. And this isn't just a street fight anymore, it's personal. Victor has watched Alicia spiral out of control. He's seen Nuck double down on his hustle. He's seen the damage their actions have caused. But Reg was supposed to be different. Reg was supposed to be family. And that's what makes this next step so heartbreaking. Because no matter how hard Victor tries to justify it, if he pulls that trigger, it won't just be, it'll be fratricide, killing your own blood. There's no coming back from that. But what choice does he have left? Jamal's barely holding on in that hospital bed. Jake is walking around with a target on his back. And now, Victor sees the bigger picture. This war doesn't end until Reg is out of it for good. That's why the trailer is sending shockwaves through fans. There's one shot, one moment, where Victor locks eyes with Reg. No words, no warnings. Just fire in his expression. And right after that, chaos. We hear gunshots, screams, and sirens. We don't know exactly what happens yet, but everything points to one final confrontation. Reg versus Victor. Brother versus brother. And if you've been paying attention, you know this was always coming. The tension between them wasn't just about street politics. It was about legacy. Reg wanted to rule through fear. Victor wanted to lead through change. And those two visions can't exist side by side. So now we're facing the most painful possibility, that one brother has to take down the other. Not for power, not for pride, but to protect what's left. Meanwhile, the other players in this story aren't slowing down either. Alicia is still out there, hiding, unpredictable. After what she did to Jamal, there's no telling what she'll do next. And Nuck, he's got his own agenda. Reg might think he's still running things, but Nuck is circling, waiting for Reg to slip. And with Tiff stuck in the middle, the pressure's building fast. The trailer hints that even Tiff is starting to question her loyalty, possibly realizing that staying close to Reg might cost her everything, including her safety. There's a scene where Jake goes looking for answers after the shooting. And when he starts digging, he realizes it wasn't Nuck who pulled the trigger, it was Alicia. That discovery could shift everything. Because once Jake knows the truth, he'll be torn in a different way. Does he stand by Reg, who keeps pulling him into fights? Or does he turn to Victor, who's doing whatever it takes to protect them both, even if it means bloodshed? One thing is certain, this next episode is going to explode. Everyone's armed, everyone's angry, and everyone's running out of time. The trailer doesn't show us who survives. It just shows us the moment before the world falls apart. And if Victor truly pulls the trigger on Reg, it's not just an end, it's the start of something darker. Because even if Reg dies, the war doesn't stop. The guilt, the trauma, the fallout, it'll change Victor forever. And that's what makes this so tragic. In trying to save his people, Victor might lose himself. What makes this even more intense is that the streets are watching. Everyone sees what's happening. This isn't some quiet family feud anymore, it's front page news in the neighborhood. The community that once looked to Victor for guidance, that believed in his voice and followed his example, now senses the storm building around him. They see the pressure on his shoulders, and they know if Victor falls, it won't just be one man going down. The entire balance of power could collapse with him. That's why this episode is so critical. It's not just the most explosive one yet, it's the one where everything shifts. Meanwhile, Jake is stuck in the middle of it all. He's already heartbroken from what Reg did, snatching his girl, pulling him into another fight, leaving him to clean up the mess. And now he's getting pulled into even more trouble. The trailer hints at a major confrontation between Jake and Reg, and you can feel it coming. Jake might not have the strength to stop Reg alone, but what he does have is loyalty to Victor. And if it comes down to choosing a side, Jake might finally have to turn his back on the brother he once followed blindly. The question is, will he do it in time, or will Reg drag him down with him? At the same time, Jamal's condition is casting a long shadow over everyone. He may be alive, but he's not okay. We see clips of him in a hospital bed, barely conscious, with Jada sitting beside him and Lee not leaving his side. This was a man who was trying to build something, married, working, making kids laugh just an episode ago. And now he's a victim of someone else's war. That's what makes Alicia's decision so unforgivable. She acted without thinking, and the consequences are tearing people apart. But here's the twist. Alicia is not done. The trailer hints that she's still planning something. Maybe she thinks the only way to finish what she started is to take Reg out herself. Or maybe she wants to take down Victor too, before he gets in her way. And let's not forget about Nuck. He's playing a long game. Everyone's focused on Reg and Alicia, but Nuck's sitting quietly, waiting for the dust to settle. And when it does, he's planning to step in and take control. But what he doesn't expect is if Victor survives this war, if he takes out Reg and comes out standing, he might finally earn the kind of respect and fear that Nuck has always relied on. Not because Victor wants it, but because people will know he's not just a politician. He's a man who protects his own. A man who will kill to stop the chaos. And that reputation, that might be more powerful than anything Nuck can throw at him. And then there's Tiff. Her storyline is quietly one of the most heartbreaking. She trusted Reg. She gave him another chance. But now, after everything that's happened after the shooting, after Alicia's warning, after the fallout with Nuck, Tiff is starting to question everything. The trailer shows her talking to Vic again. Not yelling, not fighting, just talking. And that moment is heavy. Because she sees what's coming too. And if anyone can see the difference between Reg's destruction and Victor's protection, it's her. The whole city feels like it's holding its breath. That's the energy of episode 7. Like we're right at the edge of a cliff. And all it takes is one more push. Reg isn't backing down. He's burning bridges, breaking alliances, and pulling everyone into the fire. And Victor, he's stepping into the flames not because he wants to, but because nobody else will. And when those two forces finally collide, the impact is going to send shockwaves through every character in this show. Here's what it really comes down to. How far is Victor willing to go? Is he ready to become the very thing he's been fighting against? Because once he crosses that line, once he pulls that trigger, he can't go back. He can't run for office. He can't preach peace. He can't talk about healing. All he'll be is a man who killed his brother. And even if it saves lives, that weight will never leave him. But maybe, just maybe, Victor is okay with that now. Because if killing Reg means saving Jake, protecting Tiff, and honoring Jamal, then maybe it's a price he's willing to pay. This isn't just another episode. This is the turning point. The moment where everything breaks. Reg might be the spark. But Victor is the explosion. As the walls close in around Reg, the consequences of his actions are finally catching up to him. And the tragedy is he doesn't even see it. He's moving like he's untouchable, like he still runs the South Side, like his name alone is enough to keep people scared. But that fear, it's fading. What people feel now isn't fear, it's exhaustion. Everyone's tired of the violence, the betrayals, the constant tension of who's going to get shot next. And Reg, in his hunger for control, is burning every last bridge he has. The trailer shows him snapping on Alicia, clashing hard with Nuck, and still pushing Jake like he owns him. But what Reg doesn't realize is that he's already alone. Even the people closest to him are starting to fall back. Jake, for all his loyalty, sees the damage Reg is doing, and Alicia, she might have been a wild card before, but now she's out for blood. Reg crossed a line when he started turning Tiff against her, especially after Alicia warned her about him. But it wasn't until Jamal got hit that Alicia's rage turned to full-on war. The trailer hints at a possible face-off between her and Reg, and knowing Alicia, she's not coming to talk. She's coming to end him. But here's where it gets even messier. Victor knows this. He sees Alicia spiraling, and he knows if she gets to Reg first, she won't stop there. That's why Victor might take action first, not just to stop Reg, but to stop Alicia from turning this into a bloodbath that no one survives. And then there's the emotional weight of Jake. This kid has been through more pain than most adults. Watching his brothers fight, watching his friends get hurt, constantly being forced to choose sides, it's breaking him down. The trailer gives us a glimpse of Jake's face when he finds out Alicia shot Jamal. You can see the heartbreak, the shock, and then you see something else. Anger. But not just at Alicia, at Reg, at himself, at the entire situation. And that's when the shift happens. That's when Jake starts to realize that the only one truly looking out for him is Victor. He might not say it out loud yet, but you can tell Jake's loyalty is changing. And if he decides to side with Victor over Reg, then Reg has nothing left. But this story isn't just about Reg. It's about what comes next. Because even if Victor kills Reg, and let's be honest, the trailer strongly suggests he does, what happens after that? The streets don't just go quiet. there's always someone waiting in the wings. And that someone might be Nucky. Stayed low this whole time, watching, planning, waiting. He knows Reg is wild, Alicia is unstable, and Victor is emotional. Nuck's the only one playing chess. And if he sees Victor lose control, even just once, he'll use it. He'll twist the narrative, make Victor look like the villain, and slide into power while everyone's distracted by the fallout. But Victor's smart too. He knows what's at stake. That's why the trailer shows him distancing himself from everyone, locking in, getting ready to make the hardest decision of his life. He knows that taking Reg out might make him look like the enemy. But he also knows doing nothing will only lead to more death. And in that moment, Victor's not thinking like a politician. He's thinking like a man who's lost too much already. A man who's watched his people bleed. A man who refuses to lose one more life just to protect a brother who no longer deserves his loyalty. Meanwhile, Tiff's role is shifting in a big way. She's been torn between love and survival for too long. Reg might have had her trust for a minute, but she's no fool. She sees what he's doing. She knows he's dangerous. And the more she talks to Victor, the more she starts to believe that he's the one with the heart, that he's the one with the future. The trailer shows a quiet, emotional moment between the two, and that's no accident. It's a signal that Tiff is moving on, not just romantically, but emotionally. She's choosing peace. And if Reg tries to pull her back, she might be the one to help bring him down. The pressure is boiling, and every character is one step away from snapping. Alicia's grief has turned into vengeance. Jake's pain has hardened into resolve. Tiff's confusion has cleared into truth, and Victor has finally accepted that the only way to save his family is to destroy a part of it. The trailer is packed with tension, sirens in the background, gunshots echoing, people shouting, and right in the center is Victor, standing still, heart racing, soul breaking, hand shaking as he decides whether or not to pull that trigger. This isn't just another storyline. This is the moment, the decision that could tear the Chi apart or finally give it a shot at healing. But healing comes at a cost, and that cost might be Reg's life. And now, we've come to the moment that everything has been building toward. The war Reg started is no longer just between street crews or bitter enemies. It's become a war inside the family. The final seconds of the trailer hit hard. We hear gunfire. We see chaos, people running, sirens howling, and in the middle of it all, there's one shot that makes everything stop. Victor, standing over someone, breathing heavy, tears in his eyes. The screen cuts to black, but the message is clear. Victor may have just killed his own brother. Think about the weight of that. Victor didn't come into this life to take lives. He came in trying to change things. He wanted peace, progress, healing. But the streets have a way of pulling even the best men back into now. After everything he's tried to do, everything he's sacrificed, it all leads to this. One bullet, one brother, one decision he can never take back. Victor didn't choose this war. Reg did. But it's Victor who has to end it. What makes this so heartbreaking is how inevitable it feels. From the beginning, Reg has been spiraling. He couldn't let go of the power. He couldn't stop pushing people. And when he crossed that final line, dragging Jake into another fight, putting Jamal in the hospital, turning friends into enemies, left Victor with no other choice. That's the tragedy. Victor didn't just kill Reg to survive. He did it to save the people. Reg kept hurting. And that kind of decision leaves scars deeper than any bullet wound. But this story isn't just ending with Reg. In fact, the aftermath might be even more dangerous. Because now the balance of power in the neighborhood is completely shattered. Alicia's not going to take Reg's death lying down. And Nucky might see this as his opportunity to rise. The minute Victor pulls that trigger, he becomes a just for the streets, but for the ones who once trusted him. People are going to start asking questions. Who really fired the first shot? Who gave the order? Who do we follow now? Victor's name won't carry the same weight anymore, not as a peacemaker, but as a man who spilled his own blood. Some will call him a hero, others a traitor. But no matter what, nothing will be the same. Jake, Tiff, Jada, even Emmett, they'll all feel the ripple effect. Jake especially. He might understand why Victor did it, but knowing your big brother killed your other big brother, that's something no one prepares you for. That kind of pain doesn't go away. And Tiff. She's finally seeing clearly. Reg's charm couldn't hide the truth forever. Now, with Victor stepping in and showing what real protection looks like, she's beginning to understand who's really looking out for her. The trailer shows her watching everything unfold. Quiet, still, maybe even afraid, because she knows what comes next. Grief, revenge, retaliation. Even if Victor did the right thing, the street never lets a man like him walk away clean. Don't. So what's next? That's the big question. Will Victor spiral under the weight of what he's done? Will Alicia strike back and light the city on fire? Will Nuck rise and try to take control while everyone's mourning? And most of all, will Jake break under the pressure or rise up and finally become the man both his brothers could never be? All those answers start to unfold in episode 7. But one thing is certain, that she just changed forever. This isn't just the most insane episode of the season. It's the one that defines what comes next. The moment Victor pulled that trigger, he didn't just end a chapter, he rewrote the whole story. Because now, it's not about survival. It's about redemption. And redemption always comes with a price.